Welcome to Circle of Hearts Radio. Journey with Grandmother Alaya as she enters her magical world of relics, sacred sites, and ancient crystal skulls. Meet with exciting trailblazer authors and individuals shifting the consciousness of humanity. Send her your questions to be answered on air on her monthly segment, Ask the Oracle. And now your host, Grandmother Alaya, in the sanctuary on the airwaves on OMTimes Radio.
All right, greetings everyone, and welcome to my sanctuary. Today we have a special show, and just the way the connections and the synchronicity happened, it makes it even more special that it's happening before Christmas. I had met Danielle as a reference from someone else, and she's a full body channel. I think if I got it right, and she knows if I'm not thinking right, the reason why. And for the Divine Mother. And we were originally going to do it on September 11th, but things somehow just never made it, whether emails didn't cross or whatever, so we decided, let's go for it again. And the opening I had was December 11th. And considering the way the state of everybody's emotions are, the messages that are going to be coming through are so needed, and this energy is so needed. But before we get into, because Danielle is going to be doing a channel for us with the Divine Mother's message for everybody, and just to feel the energies, it's going to be quite something. And I totally respect Danielle. That is why Spirit brought her to be on this show, and it's just the right thing to happen at this particular time. But before we get into that part, I'm going to just tell you a little bit about her life's journey. First of all, she's the author of Where Are You on the Pathway to Love? And Danielle has served Mother Mary since 1994. Her own very human struggle with the obsession of addiction and the emergence back to the joy of living makes her ideal in this service. This is a service of her soul that she does. Her willingness to honestly share her experience, both past and present, gives people hope. Something we really all need, that no matter where they find themselves in their lives, they can benefit from Mother Mary's teachings. Mother Mary has served humanity for thousands of years. As Divine Mother, her grace, wisdom, and loving guidance encourages millions to love themselves as she does unconditionally. Together, they inspire individuals to awaken and expand in their consciousness through best-selling courses, life-changing retreats, and online events. This is, she's unique, Danielle. And before I bring her on, I'd like to, I told her I admire her, for her service. And to be a full-body channel, I mean, that totally blows my mind. I've myself have come in contact with a lot of ascended masters and high vibrational energies, and work with the Divine Mother of the World energies. And I told her, today I'm nervous. I've broken out in a sweat. So if I'm not focused, I think your host here is a wreck. And on those words, let me bring in Danielle, a very down-to-earth, beautiful woman. Soul, and she's calm and casual. I'm just the wreck. Welcome to the show, Danielle.
Thank you so much, Alaya. It is wonderful to be here today.
Let's start at the beginning. Give a little bit of your background and how this all evolved, if you could.
I will. And let me just quick say that, because I know what state you're in this today.
I know.
But let me just say that the title of our book is Mother Mary's Pathway to Love, Building a Loving Relationship with Yourself That Will Transform Your Life. So I just wanted to put that out there right in the beginning.
I told you. I warned you.
I know, and I totally get it. Believe me, I get it. And I just wanted to say that is one of the most important things for me with my channeling is what you're experiencing today in anticipation of connecting with Mother. That's very real. You're having a very visceral, emotional response. And that is so critical to me because I'm the kind of person that if there's no proof or validation, and I don't mean proof like, something that can come out of a laboratory, but if I can't feel the experience, it's not really worth it for me to invest a lot of time and energy into it. And that's one thing that I will say about my channeling, the work that I do. For most people, it is a very present and real experience rather than just imparting words and knowledge. It's an experience. And for me, the way, just a brief overview of how it all kind of came together. Like a lot of people, I had a very tumultuous childhood and not great home life. I know my parents loved me, but there was just a lot of dysfunction. And I was born, probably like yourself, a highly sensitive person. And just the basic truth of it is my poor family did not know what to do with that because they had no experience, with what it means to be a highly sensitive person. And it was everything. It was sight and sound and feeling and physically sensitive. There just were so many aspects to my sensitivity. And I remember my mother saying often, you're so sensitive, Danielle, that is going to be the biggest problem in your life. You have got to stop being so sensitive. In her mind, she was trying to help me, trying to give me, life advice. And so I really, without the tools to cope with sensitivity, I started using food, particularly sugar, at a really young age to what sugar would do is it would create a reaction, like a numbing effect in my body, like a buffer, so that, sights and sounds and people and energy weren't so sharp and sometimes jagged. It was a coping mechanism. And as I got a little older in my teenage years, I discovered drugs and alcohol as yet more of a, coping mechanism. And today, I have to say I'm grateful for all my addictions because it's how I survived my childhood, my teens, and my early 20s. Because if I did not have that buffer, I don't know if I could have handled living because I was just so sensitive. But fortunately, the divine had other plans for me, and I found my way to groups of people that were very spiritually minded in recovering from addiction. And
I was going to say, was there one defining point? Like some people have a spiritual crisis, some people have a near death, that one defining point in your physical life that totally made you go like a 360,
Yeah, there was actually. I was sitting in one of these meetings with these lovely people who were, dealing with their own addiction through spiritual, and I was sitting. It was an all-women's meeting, so no women were there, and I had just decided, the addict mind decided that this was just crap. This was
conscious media for conscious minds. OMTimes. Being a radio host on IOM FM allows you to build your show on a rich platform with the power of the internet to fulfill your outreach goals and connect with a very specialized and global online audience, unlimited by time and distance. OMTimes Radio will provide you with web relevance, a recognizable conscious brand, and with the standard of excellence that has accompanied every single OMTimes endeavor. Host your show with OMTimes Radio Network.
Hi, this is Sylvia Henderson, intuitive life coach and energy healer. Are you ready to elevate and rise way above your normal? Be sure to listen to my show, Intuitive Transformations, on OMTimes Radio, Sunday evenings at 9 p.m. Eastern. Get the inspiration you need to transform your life.
Adopt US Kids presents Multiple Choice Parenting.
You've messed up your daughter's haircut. Do you A, get spiritual?
Mom, where's the mirror?
Beauty is within. Oh.
B, find the positives?
Less time blow drying, more time texting?
Or C, show empathy?
Mom, you really don't have to.
Twinsies!
I kinda love it. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on adoption, visit adoptuskids.org. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Discount.
Oops, okay.
No.
Oh, we back on already? Okay. I didn't know we did. All right, here we go. Okay, Danielle, let's go on.
Okay, I'm not sure where we dropped out, but yeah, I think that it's people who have fears that when their own awakening involves things that seem a little crazy or weird or like this can't be happening, I think those fears are valid and should not be just discounted, meaning that, you know, a lot of people say, oh, it's spiritual and it's normal and, you know, get over it. But we can't just flip a switch and get over these things. You know, it was gradual for me. I had to exploring my spirituality and awakening to my gifts, being able to hear voices, being empathic. It was all a process. It was not something, I mean, that was my defining moment, but it wasn't as if this all just happened overnight. You know, I've been developing my channeling for over 2 decades.
I think that's an important point that you make, because people have no expectation. They don't know what to expect when they say about awakening. They think, all right, one day I'm going to wake up and I'm going to have all these abilities. And it's not. It's a gradual process. Otherwise, people go insane. Exactly.
You can't have it all at once. And, you know, I look back at my channeling when I first started channeling Mother to now, and it's vastly different. I mean, I'm able to hold so much more of her energy because I've continued to do my own, you know, my own transformation, my own growth. And every time I grow, I make more room for her to hold you know, energy, in not only in my body, but in the space where I'm channeling. So it's I think it's just like any other skill. It would be great to kind of take it somewhat out of the total mysticism, but, you know, even if you're born with a gift of being able to draw really well, you're a great artist at a young age, artists still work at their craft their whole career. You know, they never just stop at one place to say, oh, well, now I'm an artist and I don't need to practice or learn new things or grow or anything like that. So
I was going to say, what I'm curious, especially before, you know, the third quarter here, is You have the abilities. Like I said, it's not something that, it's thrust upon you, surprisingly, okay. But you have to allow yourself to evolve. At any point did you say, no, I'm not sure about this?
Oh, yeah. And from the very beginning, when Mother came to me, when I was doing I had this fabulous meditation and I was feeling one with everything, that just great silent feeling. And she came to me and I had never felt such unconditional love before. It was life altering. And she presented this possibility of me channeling her. And I knew, too, that this was going to be about devotion to her, meaning that I was not going to be channeling this wide range of ascended masters. It was really just, I was going to be a one entity gal. And she said we had this pre-life agreement, but she asked me if I wanted to honor it. She didn't tell me this is what we're doing. She asked me. Mm-hmm. And that went a long way in helping me to say yes. And also I knew that if I said no, her love for me would be exactly the same, unconditional. Like that's what unconditional love is. She put no conditions on my choice to join with her in this endeavor. And that made me feel like my whole being wanted to say yes. I felt as though my whole life had been moving to this moment. Like, do you know what I mean? That defining moment.
I was going to say, your first experience in bringing her through, was it just natural, or did you hear something like, okay, well, calm, like in instructions in your head? I'm very serious about this.
I know. The first time she came sort of to my body and to the circle of, her presence was felt with a group of friends of mine, and I felt her and they felt her. But the first time I really formally channeled her, I went to a workshop to learn how to channel her. Mm-hmm. And I was taught how to be in relationship with her with devotion and service as the two main components of my work, as opposed to, just something you do whatever at a party when people are like, hey, do that thing you do,
Yeah.
It was a whole different mindset. And, when I was in the workshop, the woman also channeled an entity named Saraswati, and Saya was taking each person through this lovely little journey to meet their, whatever they were going to channel. And I thought, oh, this is going to be great. This is so simple and sweet, and I can do this. And no, when it was my turn, they put me on the couch, they hooked me up to the microphone, and the woman who channeled Saraswati said, okay, so Saya's going to come to my body. She's going to tell you what to do. And then she has to leave because what's coming to your body is going to be too big for them to be in the room together.
Okay.
Yeah. So I immediately broke out in a sweat. And I thought, oh, my God, what have I done? And sure enough, that's what happened. And when Saya came back to Kimberly's body, she was not like the super sweet, okay, we're going to go on this little journey. She was like Kali. She was fiery and intense and glorious and amazing, and just told me exactly what to do so that my mind would not take over the process. And that was my first channeling, and people were weeping, and I felt as though my whole body just dissolved. And the only thing I could actually feel were my eyes. And there was so much Shakti, there was so much energy going through my eyes. They were just streaming with tears. It was so intense. The whole process took about 20 minutes. And I was completely wiped out when she left my body that first time. But it needed to be that intense for a lot of different reasons. One, for me, because, it has to be obvious. The subtle is often lost on me. So there has to be a billboard with flashing lights, like, this is real. And she needed to be what's called seated in my body. When you're a full body channel, something, someone, some energy has to take the time to seed that whatever you're going to channel into your body, so that it creates an actual connection. So that when I sit down to channel and I call her forth, that pathway, that neurological pathway, is already created, like it's set in place, if that makes sense.
Well, I know on the, just letting the listeners know, if, we don't blow the thing off the internet here, because I think we had a little taste already that, we're talking and things, went down,
Yes.
Grateful to the producer was able to get us back up, is that Danielle on the third quarter is going to go into the process of allowing Mother to come through, so we can, experience this on air. And I had told her that, I'm a wreck. So, so I just want everybody to know that, in the beginning, if we're a little bit quiet, it is because I want to give the respectful quiet just for Danielle to do what she needs to do. And then I got to come up with a question, which I go, oh my God, I don't even know what to ask. But anyway. I know you're laughing. I'm not. Oh my.
You're great though. I love your honesty. You're so beautiful. It's wonderful to take this journey of growth and spirituality with people who are authentic and who are not so afraid to be vulnerable, particularly with your audience. And that's so beautiful.
Oh, well, my audience knows I don't know what I'm doing.
And they love you for it. That's great.
Yeah, well, but that helps with the grandmother name. Let the old lady figure out what she's doing. But no, this is very special, and the timing is beautiful. And like I said, I know we're heading to commercial, so I'm just kind of let everybody unwind, especially me. And so I don't, go into a duh. But my inner senses, and I do trust my inner senses a lot, is Danielle has a very special path of service in this life. And to bring this energy forth at this particular time on air when everybody's hurting so much, I have no idea what to expect. I have no idea what I'm going to ask. I don't even know how to address Mother. I'm sweating up a storm here. But
instead of Mary or Mother Mary, people just call her Mother.
That's what I was planning to do.
Yeah.
So that's a good one.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. So I know even myself, because I have this intense energy feel around me right now, and I'm breaking out in a sweat, that this is something very real happening. This is not something made up. This is not anything. I'm feeling the energies now. That's why I'm trying to laugh about it, but I'm like, oh my God.
and that's really, I feel, what she's trying to convey to people now, through people like yourself who are willing to have us on the show, is that this is real and it's available to everybody. Not just me, not just you, not just a few special people, but everybody.
Yeah, the mother's energies, especially in December, like I had told you in a before the show, people are saying, I've been feeling it. I've been feeling her. So the timing of the show, which we really didn't have any quite plans, it was supposed to happen a few months ago, but it just seems all in divine timing. So as we're going to head into commercial, if everything goes smoothly, and believe me, I got my fingers and toes crossed here, we're going to have quite an experience. So just open your heart. Anybody who's listening, or even on the podcast, this is not like a one-time shot. This is energy impressed upon the energy of the internet.
Yeah.
So whenever you listen, this is very real. So that's why I want to make. Okay, here we go.
The Real Conscious Connection. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM. Have you ever wondered how to change your love paradigm? The secret key is finding a love partnership, not just a regular connection. How do you find these? Through conscious relationships. Ascending Hearts Dating is a dating site for people like you that believes in second chances and a different type of spiritual connection. Try Ascending Hearts for free today at ascendinghearts.com. and change your love paradigm. Ascending Hearts, the premier dating community for the spiritually awake.
Hello! Join us, Lisa Berry and Michelle Carter, every Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time for the Mindset Makeover, What's Possible. Get ready to become present, clear, and unstuck, and start living fully, led by your heart. While you listen and feel this transformation through vibration of word, sound, and song, you'll open up to what's possible and experience your shift.
Hey, this is Reva McIntyre, and I wanted to talk to you about a serious problem right here in our own backyard. Did you know that there are nearly 16 million kids struggling with hunger in America? That's why the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks collects surplus food, engaging their communities in solving hunger and giving hope to hungry kids and their families. But they need your help. Support Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
A message from Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Hello, beloved one.
Welcome, Mother.
My beautiful, beautiful, beautiful daughter. It is my honor to be with you today.
And I thank you. I'm in tears already. The timing of connecting Danielle with me, to even be here, and so people can feel your energy. The world is hurting so badly this year. Is there something that you can let them know that you're always there for them? Because people feel lost.
Yes. And I would like just to talk a little bit about that energy, that what's happening in your world is that you are slowly coming to the realization, and I don't want to sound trite that this is obvious, but this is a very important something. You're coming to the realization that if you want happiness, if you want peace, if you want to have deeper connections with people all over the world, if you want to end war and hunger, all these things, that it has to start from within you, the individual. And that is not, people don't like to start there. They like to start outside of themselves. First, they want their governments, whether it's a communal government, a national government, or an international government, to solve the problem. They want things like money to solve the problems of hunger and war. They want all these things outside of themselves to solve the problems. But what's happening is that no matter how many outside things are put into war and hunger and politics and pain and suffering, you are not finding your solution as a human race. And what is becoming more and more clear is that these resolutions to all these difficulties and issues and pain, not only for the individual, but for the collective, you must go within to discover what's there, to discover your own hunger. There are people starving in the world because inside you all are starving. You're hungry. What are you hungry for? You're hungry for love. You are hungry for connection. And what I'm talking about doesn't necessarily have anything to do with a particular spiritual belief or a religion. It is simply the divine right of every human being to feel loved, to give love, and to feel deeply connected. This is what you hunger for. This is what you fight wars for. This is why you seek power. All these things outside of self, you try to make love and make connection, but the truth is you can't make it. You simply have to allow it. And in order to allow love and connection to flow, you have to go within.
From what I see and the people that I talk to, I think we've been putting out enough seeding of wisdom out there, and people are starting to understand.
Yes.
So it's, I think we can make it.
I agree, beloved. I absolutely know that you can make it, because more and more of you are starting to sit quietly and just feel what's going on inside. And you're asking yourself questions. Do I want to continue to feel the way I feel inside? If it's not good, then the answer is no. Then what can I do for myself? What is the most loving thing I can do for myself today to feel better? You all are utilizing all the tools that have been put out in the world for thousands of years so that you can have an inner journey. And when you take and commit to the inner journey, then all of a sudden you are able to serve others in their inner journey, to support them, and they can support you. And all of a sudden you think, wow, before I was alone, and now I feel very supported. I feel loved, I feel understood, and I feel accepted.
And I think this pertains to no matter what so-called religion, people, no matter where they are in the world, I think they're feeling their hearts open. A lot of them sometimes don't understand this heart opening, but it's real. Just like you're coming through Danielle. This is something, a real experience. It's not something that's made up in everybody's mind.
It is. But I would tell you, beloved, and all those who listen to this recording now or later, that when you have your heart opened, expect there to be some fear and worry about what this means or what it's all about. Don't be taken by surprise, so that you can be patient with yourself and to recognize that for the heart to open and expand, for you to make room for love in your life, it is a practice, right? Just like any other practice.
Do you have any suggestions? People don't feel like they're worthy of love.
It's true. You're right. And the only way to find their worthiness is to go within. What you will find within, yes, you'll find your shadow, but you'll also find your light. So yes, you might find that there are things about yourself you are not wildly crazy about. You'll also discover things that you are crazy about, that are quite wonderful, that you bring to your life, to other people. You will feel that. And every time you feel your own gift,
I know.
it gives you the feeling of worthiness.
Yeah, I was going to say I know an expression that I've adopted from someone else was always follow your heart. You can never go wrong in that. Would you feel that's true?
Yes, that is correct. If we are talking about your heart being the center of love, or
yes.
that wellspring of love, that comes from the heart chakra, which is that gateway to love. So yes, I agree with that. And when the heart and the intuition are in balance, it's quite easy to find your direction, to find your way in your life. But I want to just clarify an important point. When I say get to know your gifts inside yourself, I don't necessarily mean these big gifts that seem very important out in the world. I'm talking about all the little things. Your smile. When you smile and that smile becomes contagious to someone else and then they smile, that is a gift that you give and receive. If you like your sense of humor, every time you laugh and someone laughs with you, that is a gift. If you are good at just holding someone's hand and saying, I'm here, I don't know what to tell you or what to do, but I'm here, that is a gift. So when you go inside, you get to discover your glory in the very, very smallest of things, all the way to the very big things.
I know this 15 minutes went fast, so I need to ask, is there something you want to instill in the hearts of everybody who listens before we, unfortunately, in this world, go on a commercial?
Yes, I do. I want to tell you that I'm here for you in all that you need. You call upon Divine Mother, Mother Mary, whatever aspect you wish, and let me help you settle and get to know yourself. Let me be one of the great supports in your life. Come, develop a relationship with me so that we can support your life, your love, your expansion, your growth, and ultimately your joy.
That is you got that ray of hope out there for everybody that can't feel any, that only feels the shadow around them. You know,
I love you and all people. I love you, I love you, I love you, and I am here to serve.
And I thank you, Mother. I thank you for spreading your energy. Thank you so much.
Feed your soul with Waves of Consciousness on OMTimes Radio. The number one reason girls drop out of school in sub-Saharan Africa is lack of access to feminine hygiene products. The Pads for Schoolgirls Project, an outreach of Humanity Healing International, is changing this paradigm by setting up sewing programs at schools, teaching girls a vocational skill, while producing the reusable pads that help keep them attending classes. The girls pay it forward by making and giving pad kits to other girls in need. To learn more, visit humanityhealing.org. Humanity Healing is where your heart is.
Hello, I'm Miriam Knight of New Consciousness Review, inviting you to my new show where I interview the rising stars of the conscious awakening. We'll explore the many faces of consciousness in action and intriguing perspectives on life, the universe, and everything in between. Join us each Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern on the Rising Stars Show.
People are always looking to invest in a good opportunity. So what if you could invest in the future of kids, like a stock? Not the kind of stock that's about making money, but a stock for social change called Better Futures. With your investment, it helps students like me go to college. My name is Charles, and I'm your dividend.
Invest in better futures with UNCF. Visit uncf.org/invest. A mind is a terrible thing to waste, but a wonderful thing to invest in. Brought to you by UNCF and the Ad Council.
Well, we're back. Danielle, are you with me?
I'm here.
Okay. Now, that was quite an experience, I actually managed to come out with some questions.
You did beautifully.
But I think the most important part is, if people put away their logical mind and just felt, that everyone will take away something from it.
Yeah.
Because if you're sensitive to energy, there's no way you can't say, well, there was something there. But I'm glad you had mentioned about, doing it online, because you can tell the difference in your voice.
Yes, and my breathing and everything. She holds my body differently. When you see me in person channel, it's very, very different than just me.
And the accent, it almost sounded Hindu, not Hindu. It was a very interesting combination of many accents all at once.
Exactly what it is. Many years ago, I had a voice teacher in Los Angeles ask her she said, I'm hearing hints of this and that and this and that. And he named off a few things. And she said, yes, it's an amalgamation of all of my personal ancestry. Isn't that wild?
Yeah, I'm glad I wasn't imagining it because, I was listening. I'm going, okay, that's interesting.
I know, and I can't recreate it when I'm not channeling. I've tried to imitate it, and I can't do it. So,
how do you, when the channel's over? This is just out of curiosity for everybody else. Like I know so little about full body. Do you feel her leave?
What happens for us now, I used to feel in the beginning it was a sort of her coming and going, and now it's like she's always inside, but we trade places. So I feel my consciousness or my what I call me, Danielle, get very small inside, and then she expands to fill that space. So it doesn't feel like she's leaving my body and coming to my body anymore. It's as if she's expanding within my body.
Very interesting. Very, very interesting. So now that I use the expression, you step out of the shadows.
Yeah.
Is the book the first step of bringing you out, or is it workshops? I want people to know where, I guess first tell us about the book.
The book was a real labor of love. I was living it as I was writing it, which was pretty extraordinary. It's 12 of Mother Mary's teachings and then 12 short memoir pieces that I wrote about my life in relation to each teaching. So there's a teaching and then a memoir piece of mine, a teaching memoir piece throughout the book. There's 24 chapters. And it is, I tell you, Alaya, I have gotten such amazing feedback from this book. People love, love, love it. And they are relating so much to my story, love Mother's teachings. Mother has such a great perspective on so many issues and so many things. Like some of the chapters are about simplicity and trust and forgiveness and what is a spiritual life and the shadow, our shadow within, commitment, faith, things that are really big subjects. And she is putting a very, very human and loving perspective on these subjects, and she makes them very doable, very accessible. The ability to grow within these things, to grow your faith, to grow your trust. It's practical, it's heartfelt, and it's very real, and people are responding beautifully to it.
And where can they find this book? Because usually people, I've always found myself, when I need to know something, it's, something either pretty much, like they say, it drops in your lap.
Yes. And you can, probably the easiest way for everything, all my offerings, is to go to my website, which is belovedpublications.com. belovedpublications.com. And you can buy the book on Amazon. There's a link right on my homepage on my website. And I give workshops throughout the year. I'm going to be in Seattle January 14th and 15th doing a workshop, and doing an author talk at East West Books in downtown Seattle. So that's coming up in January. I'm gearing up for another online course. It's going to be 21 weeks. It's going to be a live course. Don't have information up on my site yet, but if you join my community, you will be the first to hear about all that amazingness. And every 2 weeks, I release on my YouTube channel a Mother Mary video. People are loving them. They're short videos, fantastic messages, great practical suggestions. And my YouTube channel is, believe it or not, it's Mother Mary Channel on YouTube. And so all this is growing. I'm on Facebook. You can connect with me on Facebook. I'd love to connect. So there's great opportunities both in a wide price range. I sell all of my recorded teachings in my store, so those are not very expensive. So you can get anything from free exposure to her all the way up to some of my more expensive offerings, like the online course coming up, or I do a retreat every year in Georgia. So there's a huge range of ways to connect through Mother.
And that's good to know, because like I said, right now, all I see, especially on social media, I think social media is one of the better ways to, find out information. Of course, I have to put a plug in for OM, which I dearly love. They're putting out wonderful information for people to be able to find. But this is good. I mean, when I listen to people or when they ask questions, you just can feel the pain. Yeah. That people have gone through this year. So just to have, and I think no matter what religion a person is, to me, Mother encompasses all the different mother goddesses of all the different religions. So it's like, as her children, which we are, you just want to go and hold her.
Yeah.
Make it right. Make it right. Make me feel better.
That's right, exactly. Just like any mother you would go to, and she is really working hard out in the world. I think I'm certainly not her only channel. I mean, a lot of people channel her, and people are having more visions of her. She has become very prominent in worldwide in the collective, and there's very good reason for that, because she's here to help people with their pain, and like she was saying, to discover what's really amazing about each individual, so that people don't just focus on their pain. Because sometimes, boy, when you get in that pattern of focusing on your pain, that's all you can feel. It's all you can see. It's all you can think about. It becomes, the overwhelming feeling. And she's here to help people shift that.
Yeah, and I think, like I said, that's important to know, that we're not just focusing on the Christianity, that version. We're talking about the divine mother of all the world religions.
Yes, that she's a part of Divine Mother now. Mother Mary was her last human lifetime, and that's very much attached to the Christian religion, but she's transcended that. She's an aspect of Divine Mother now.
Yeah, and I think, like I said, that makes it, I think, opens people more, because, like I said, all the different religions have kind of isolated us, and we forget, what is really there out there. And I think we don't want people to think, well, this is just for one particular religion. So that's something I just wanted to reinforce. I hope you don't mind.
No, it's wise of you to do so, because I don't see that much of what comes through me really clashes with any religion. She's just very focused on helping people align themselves with love, rather than with so much fear. And I don't see where that really conflicts with most religions.
Yeah, no, that's, like I said, seeing this whole opportunity to have her on the air, which I thank everybody, and thank Skype and the internet. Please, we got through this, was a beautiful feel. And it sort of just, it was seriously a blessing. If anyone who listens to it, if they felt that, for this moment in time, it gave them that ray of hope, like Mother is there for them. They're not forgotten.
Exactly. That's a beautiful way to put it.
So it's, like I said, please say your website again and reiterate a few more places again, so people, if they missed it, they have a chance to hear again. Okay.
My website is www.belovedpublications.com, publications with an S. And our new book is Mother Mary's Pathway to Love, Building a Loving Relationship with Yourself That Will Transform Your Life. And that's available on Amazon. And you can go to my website and find all kinds of great stuff, my YouTube channel, workshops, online classes, great stuff. Thank you so much for having me today, Elias.
Danielle, thank you, and I'll be in touch. I'm going to have to absorb all this.
Great. Okay. Love you, hon.
Same to you. Bye-bye.
Bye.